Okay, welcome to our Tuesday night team call. It is the 10-year celebration of my 10 years as a distributor in June. And I just wanted to shout out to everybody, all of you guys that have been part of this journey with me, especially Sharon. Just wanted to thank you, number one, for introducing this to me. And I think, Sharon, your video just went off. If you want to go ahead.
Okay, there you go. Is that better?
We want to see your face.
There you go.
I just wanted to, give a shout out to Sharon because I want her to tell the story how it happened too, and a little bit about her story because she's not on our call very often. But really, we owe this, a lot of this connection. Hey, Anita, just it is. I always feel like it's a divine intervention, right? This doesn't happen by accident. We know that each one of us was brought to this business, this product, this company, this team, and it really is for a reason. And so I am grateful. And just sharing your friendship for over 20, I've worked at McGreevy over 25 years. And little did I know, and she was always my work mom.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she knocked on my door, and it was in May, as introduced the product to me in May of 2011. So 10 years ago. And just, do you want to tell a little bit about your story and why you got
Oh,
involved?
sure.
Sharon is
Oh,
actually a fellow of radiology. She's in DEXA. She is registered X-ray tech. She is a guru in the radiology field and just such a great mentor, and also a great leader of our team. And I think she does a lot of things behind the scene that we don't see, but she's always been somebody we can go to if we have to just vent or run ideas by. And so, Sharon, thank you for being such a wonderful friend and mentor and mother.
oh, well, Marilyn, thank you so much. You are way too kind. Trust me. But, you know, I was introduced to this at least 10 years ago too. And my anniversary date was May 1st, I believe. And one of our friends, Dr. Mark Gordon, who we all know and love, I was invited to one of his meetings back in the day. And so Dean and I, my husband, went to it. And I was convinced right away because we had so many health problems in our family. My dad had passed away from a heart attack. Well, he'd had two bypass surgeries. And then Dean also, he had a heart attack when he was only 49 years old.
Your husband did, yeah.
And so it was just like a no-brainer right off the bat. So I went ahead and we signed up as a distributor right away that night. And of course, then I had to share it with our good friends, Marilyn and Joel, because I know they had some issues also in their families. And the rest is history. And so I'm just so happy and so pleased to be with all of you together on our team. So thank you.
Thank you. And so Sharon and Dean live in Sioux Falls, and he owns Northern Truck Equipment, three different locations, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
she's been part of McGreevy and the Avera system as an X-ray tech for over what, 30?
Since I think I started working with McGreevy in probably 1981, I believe, if I can remember correctly.
40 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you were at Watertown Hospital before that as X-ray.
Right, right.
But just a great mentor and friend, and always there, when we need us, if we need a call or, encouragement. But just wanted to give everybody a shout out and give her a chance to share a little bit. Did everyone get the Axio? Just wanted to remind you that we have the 3 for 300 because of the anniversary month. If you get 3 new customers or 3 new enrollments for a total of 300 PV, you get to have a free Axio bag. So I will let you choose, which flavor you'd like, and I'm willing to throw in a free T-shirt and whatever too, if that can sweeten the pot. And I don't care how many winners we have. Also remember, each month is the 5 for 500. And that goes ongoing. And I think the shares are around 120, 130 a month so far. So keep up, with that. But also just remember, we have the brand new CBD enhanced skincare line. Who is loving that beauty serum? I'm absolutely loving it. Feel like my skin is so much more radiant, and don't I look so much younger, honey?
Indeed, you do.
That
Good
was a good
job.
answer.
Good job, Joel.
I'm
Good
kidding.
job.
Yeah, Joel, you know when to answer. That's great.
And the body butter. We like the body butter, don't we?
Indeed, we do.
Well, also I'll have to give a testimonial to our grandson Jackson. He's 16, and he did a hockey thing this weekend that he skated Friday and Saturday because he's been off for the summer. And so his legs were killing him. And so he did some of the CBD oil, and he said, Grandma, it works.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. See, I know. I think that rub does help because I've
Mhm.
used the rub too, just on
Yes,
sore neck, sore shoulder.
yes. So that's a great testimonial.
Yes, good. And then you also have another, Dean, didn't he have psoriasis when you first got started? On the
Oh, yes, definitely. And of course, you know how guys are. Well, sorry, Joel, but you know how the guys are. They just don't like to, start anything right away. And he had psoriasis really bad in his scalp and in his armpits and his legs. And of course, he went to the dermatologist, and he had to keep putting steroid creams on all the time. And you know how that goes. That gets old after a while. And so I said, why don't you try that? So in August of 10 years ago, he said, okay, I will. And, his hands were even peeling. And so within a couple of months, guess what? It all started to clear up. So there's another good testimonial.
Wow.
That's awesome. And was it John that had the bad sinus?
Our son, John, he had hay fever really bad.
Mhm.
And so there again, it helped immensely. He's not cured, obviously that, we can't say that it cures or treats anything, but his symptoms are really decreased.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And Joel, did
Mhm.
you want to tell your story a little bit of why you're happy, you're glad we have LifeVantage, why we thank
Well,
God?
we thank God every day for LifeVantage because of the income, the relationships.
Yes.
And, we'd go to these meetings and talk about how digging the well before you needed the water. And I never got it until our well went dry. So I get it now.
Mhm.
We thank God seriously every day for LifeVantage. You talk about the benefits of the products. That's one part of it, but it's the relationships and the income. It's out of bounds.
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's a complete blessing.
Exactly. And I also asked Kathy Macbeth. She has been part of LifeVantage, 4 or 5 years now?
Awesome.
And you have an amazing story too that some people might not have known about your cancer journey and how this product has helped you. So I wanted to give you a few minutes to share your story as well, Kathy. So
Hey.
Kathy Macbeth.
Hi, thank you. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in June of 2015. Went through a terrible year with chemo treatments. And then my type of breast cancer, they wanted me to be on the chemo pills an additional 10 years, 5 to 10 years, but she said more than likely 10 years. I didn't handle chemo well at all. I was going in pretty much daily for fluids, starting my second treatment. Throwing up, diarrhea for over a year, no fun stuff. And I couldn't continue with the treatments anymore. So I started the product in September of 2016. We learned about it in August. And I'm very glad we did. Every time I go in, my blood work looks great. I'm feeling better all the time, getting more and more energy back. That's been really slow and hard. Neuropathy for me was terrible. And then after being on Protandim for, I don't know how many months, I kind of lost track. It really was starting to be better, but I was still on the chemo pills, and that last chemo pill that I was on, that just really did me in. In fact, I'm doing acupuncture now to try to help with that. But I will say something about the hair product, but I've been pretty quiet about this because of a lawsuit that I'm in. Let's see, they hid it from the United States that it can cause permanent hair loss. And I was the very unlucky one. The first one around here that they'd heard of. I've heard of one other person around here, and they've been using Taxotere for years and years, so they have to say it now. But my doctor was very surprised. But anyway, I started on the serum, and I'm on the Nerf 2, Nerf 1 ProBio. Those were the first 3 that I was on. And I really think that being on the Nerf 2 has really helped. I used the hair products, and now I kind of use them off and on. If people would see me, they'd be thrilled. Because when I went 3 years with just 2 tiny, we're talking very thin little patches of hair right behind the ears here. Now my entire head is covered, but just not thick enough where I can, I'm not comfortable because it's extremely, extremely thin and you still see the scalp throughout. But I think this is an amazing product that would really, really help people where their hair follicles weren't killed like mine were. I wasn't expecting to see any growth. I'm still hopeful. I don't use the serum nearly as often as I was because we're putting the money into a lot more of other products, But I told Doug, I said, it's been a while. I'm tempted to start trying it again just to see if I can get more new growth, But I think people that lose it naturally, it would be amazing for them. I really do think so. I can't say enough about it because I know that, okay, like you said, we can't say that it treats, cures, or prevents anything, but I honestly don't know where I'd be today or if I'd even be here, without it. So I'd rather put this in my body than more harsh chemicals that were slowly killing me off, really. So.
And just think,
Anyway.
like you said, you had tried every route to try to get some hair growth.
Oh, everything.
Remember how excited you were when you said, and that was like in the first, 6 weeks you started seeing?
Oh, no, I bet within 2 to 3 weeks. So I was thrilled,
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I question,
Even if
why
it
did
is
that
just
much
peach-
come in?
Yeah. Even if it is just peach fuzz, it's still something. There's
It's still something. I'm still very hopeful.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe that everything starts at your cellular health level. That's where it
does.
starts. And the longer I'm out, I don't know. You never know, I guess. But I'm here. So that's the main thing. So I'm very thankful.
Praise God you're here.
Thank you so much.
not on the chemo anymore. And so far,
No way.
how many years? 4, 5 years post?
I was diagnosed in 2015, in June of 2015. So
So you're past the 5-year mark already.
I am.
That's
Of being
wonderful.
done with that. Yeah.
Wonderful,
And that's without being on the treatment.
Right.
So
wonderful.
yeah. Yep. Doug and I made a pact. We're going to be here for a good, till we're at least 100. So
Well, you have 2 weddings coming up or 1? 2?
we have one in 3.5 weeks. Stephanie's getting married, and then Joshua's getting married in September of 22.
Oh, wow. How
So-
exciting. And Julia, you have a wedding coming up in a couple weeks or 3-4
I
weeks.
think a week before my daughter, right?
Yeah, July 10th. When's your daughter?
The 17th.
All right. Oh, it'll be fun to share.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
So,
Well, good. That is what this is all about. But I just wanted to make it a celebration call. If anyone else wants to share. Dennis, you haven't shared for a while. you've been busy helping your son build his awesome house out in the hills. Do you want to share a little bit about your story? I love your story too, and there's some people that have not heard your story, Dennis, and I think it's pretty profound. So you've been through a lot. So do you want to share a little bit about that?
I don't know if we have time for all that.
Well, the condensed version.
Well, the short version is, well, I don't know, which part do you want to hear?
So you had
Just-
a bad accident. You were involved in a lot of drugs and everything, and then you
Oh, that part. Okay.
well, I mean, you just had a really hard life there, but you came through that, and then what brought you to Life Vantage?
Well, yeah, just Connie and I, we basically hit two semis head on. Shouldn't have lived. Come to know the Lord through it all. Changed my life, because before that, I mean, I was into dealing drugs and everything big time with Mexican mafia and stuff. And God got a hold of me and changed my life, and everything got better. And then we've owned a couple grocery stores, kind of sold them, kind of retired. And then Mike Newton is who introduced us to Life Vantage. And not that I've been doing it like I should. If I had ever just get after it, I probably, who knows what would happen. But if you haven't made that commitment, it just doesn't happen. So maybe one of these days. It's getting closer, because it really bugs me knowing that I've been in for 3 years and still just at Pro 2 and, you know, messing around with it. Really haven't even gotten serious whatsoever. Just enjoy the community.
And that's
So,
okay, because everybody has their journey, their story, their timing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and then I just started doing a lot of carpentry work on the side. So I stay busy. I don't advertise nothing, but I got all these old ladies that want me to do stuff for them, and I just help people. Don't make a whole lot of money, but it's more about just helping them, and you know, I just don't like it when people take advantage of other people. So anyways, but never been on Facebook before. I just got on like maybe, well, it was last November, I think. So then I just started doing all these stupid videos stuff. But I don't know, everywhere I go, people are always like, well, when are you gonna do another video? When are you gonna do another video?
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna do one tomorrow. I'm finishing up the project. So,
Okay. You've heard
but
it here,
I stayed plenty busy and stuff. And one of these days we'll get after this and go to town. But yeah, it's pretty pathetic, really, what we've done. I mean, I don't know if I just get busy, because I mean, at one time we had probably 18 customers, I think, and everything. And I didn't even really do nothing, just talk to people. But I don't know. I got to do something though, because what I'm doing isn't gonna pay the bills by the time I turn 70. So
That's all right. So don't beat yourself up. I was on a training the other day, and I liked what she said. She said, it's like we're operating in the Secret Service. You know, it's like we've got this product, you know, that it extends life, it gives energy, it helps our immune system, you know, or just all these wonderful things. But we're in the Secret Service, we're going to use it, and no one else is going to know. She goes, stop being in the Secret Service. Like, you're out there, like, tell your story. Just like you did now. It's so moving and it's so powerful. And each one of us has a story. And if we would just share it, if we would just, and I'm the same way. Like, there's so many people I need to talk to, and, you know, because I kind of, on the surface, you have that connection, and they just have this understanding that I'm doing something. And I think most people know, but really, like I was hearing on another call, is everybody that has not heard of the CBD or the new Axio or even the Daily Wellness, you know, we have so many new products that have come out in the last year that really all of those people that you said you've already talked to, guess what? They are already put them back on your database because they have not heard about the new products yet, or most of them haven't. So start over, even with those ones that you've talked to about Nerve 2. And I love that the fact that we're getting back with the angle of, or the actual message of our powerful NRF2 activator. That is where the mothership is. That's where we start. And we know all of these other products feed from that, right? We start with that, and that is our basis. And there is no other story out there like ours because of the Nerve 2 story, right? But just remember that new products that just launched this week and last, and even this month, you know, the new CBD line. I'm going to do an open house for my 10-year anniversary, and I'm going to sample Axio. I'm going to share the new product and give away prizes, and because it's a whole new story, right? Or, you know, it's a whole new product line. And all of these people that have not heard that yet, they're going to hear it, right? So I think it's okay. We can reset, we can push the reset button, we can relaunch. June is halfway through the year and we're at halftime. So quit beating yourself up about the old story. When we were down in South Carolina, we had a pastor that talked about an old, in the church message, you know, it was really powerful. He said, we need a new story. We keep using our old, you know, just like you did, Dennis, not to say anything, you know, about what you said, but we beat ourselves up over, oh, I haven't done anything in 3 years, you know, and shame on me and blah, blah, blah. No, you know, today's a new day, and use that as your motivation or whatever. And the fact that you're still taking the product, you're still showing up, you're still coming to, did you guys know that LVA is going live, and we're going to be in Sioux Falls live with LVA in August 21st. EA is coming up, and that is July 10th. That's virtual, but some of us are going to meet together and watch that. So use these opportunities. And guys, there's a secret. Rob Smolik and Summer Smolik just hit Pro 8 last month. They're coming through Sioux Falls next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. So Dennis, if you want to hop in the car and come to Sioux Falls and see the excitement of Rob Smolik and Summer, they're going to be doing a presentation right in Sioux Falls. We'll maybe do a live or something of that. But yeah, there's things we've got to promote. And another thing I learned at a call this week was a gal that was always teaching her team. And her mentor said, hey, you want to get paid as a teacher, or do you want to get paid as a promoter? And he said, promoters out-earn teachers all day long. Teachers don't make a lot of money. And not to say that we love teachers, right? But we need to know that promoting is where it's at. You be a professional promoter, and obviously, you know, connect and share, but we are connectors and promoters. If we get good at those two things, we're going to go to the next level, because we can teach all day long, but teaching is only going to get us so far. And then it's that next level. So let's start promoting events, promoting each other, promoting our products, you know, promoting everything. Everything's an event. Even the one that's starting right after this, we have Erica Dale, Pro 7 is doing the Flip the Switch. And the Level Up Live Facebooks, those are still live. You can use those. You know, all of those Pro 9s and up that did those recordings on the Level Up Facebook page, use those, or use whatever resonates with your people. But be a professional promoter. Show up at events, show up at these calls. I mean, I asked the girls, do you think we should go and take the summer as a lighter schedule with the calls? But really, we'll lose touch with each other. We'll lose the momentum. And why not build this 6 months out? We're at halftime, right? Let's make the next 6 months really exciting, really full, really get that momentum going, because we have going into October, we'll have our live event in Salt Lake City. I'm hoping some of us can go. It's a live event for convention, And it would be great to all gather together there if we can. Otherwise, it's virtual as well. But you guys, be a promoter. Stop listening to the old story. That was the minister that talked about the old story. We need a new story. And, you know, we need to remember this gift. This is what we have to share with people. And it's somebody out there is praying for a new story, a solution that you have. Let's stop being a secret service agent and let's start living loud. So anyone else have any other stories? Thank you, Kathy and Sharon and Dennis, for sharing. Anita, how's your hubby doing? How's Greg doing after his stroke? Hey, Greg.
Hey, better and better.
Good.
Yeah, he's talking
Better and
a
better.
lot better. We're getting some
Good.
speech therapy.
Good.
They said it should 100% resolve. He can tell a little bit in his body as well, but
Yes.
but
Oh,
we're getting there. We got to see our daughter this past weekend in Charlottesville.
good.
I want to say something about products. So when I started the Daily Wellness, I missed the time to get it for distributors. So I busted my butt to win the prize that you, Marilyn, gave because I desperately needed it. I've always had lots of sinus trouble since my dad smoked when I was growing up, and I don't do that well. My ears were like so full. I was just like, it's one of my worst times. I got a hold of it within 2 days. My ears started clearing up. I know when I'm not taking it. If I miss a couple of days, I know it, but it's sustaining me. Tree pollen was extremely bad this year, and I would have been out of it, and I wasn't. Yeah, it was a little bit rough, but I feel so much better. Also, when I take the no, fish.
Fish oil, omega.
Thank you. Omega Plus. My mind just went, when I take the Omega Plus, really sustains my hormones. I remember calling Julia when I first started it, and I was like, Julia, I feel so much better. And I remember her response is, me too, because I could tell the difference inside me. Now we were kind of sanctioning it off before our next order came in this last time. I could tell a difference. I started hot flashing. I don't know. It's really, really sustaining me. I know all the products are. I could say a whole lot about all the products, but if I had to pick two to talk about tonight, just wanted to say that to you all. I can also tell the difference with Axio, and it's really, really helped him. All of the
Yes.
products really, really helped us both. So we're on the whole stack. We're trying to sanction out the NAD, so we're doing one a day instead of two, and then try with the Vitality Stack. But we just got to get more busy and get our resources up. But anyway, I'm just very thankful. This fall will be 5 years for
Wow.
us.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Julia or Vanessa, you two, Denise, either of you guys want to share quick before we close?
I can quick about my autoimmune. You know, and in 1993, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. And at that time, I just followed the doctor's orders and I did the radioactive iodine treatment. At this point in time in my life, I would probably reconsider having all of those free radicals introduced to my body. But at that time, I just followed doctor's orders. A few years later, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and it totally threw me off my game. I was actually even had to take a leave of absence from work because I was struggling with it so much. At that time, I found that diet helped me. A nutritional focus altered my course of fibromyalgia way before I learned about nutraceuticals. Flash up to 2013, when I was introduced to the nutraceuticals of Protandim. It was a game changer. And then when you go to 2019, I was having symptoms that were very indicative of MS. And I was, to autoimmune disease, Graves' disease, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disease. What's MS? Another autoimmune disease. I went through the whole workup, and at the very end, just making the story short, my doctor patted me on the knee and said, whatever you're doing with those herbals and your nutraceuticals, you keep doing them, girl, because you're headed toward MS, but somehow you've got it blocked. And she totally believed that it was because of my nutraceuticals, because of Protandim, Nerf 1, Nerf 2, NAD, Axio. I believe the same thing. And when your body's attacked with autoimmune diseases, there's a lot of different factors involved, but the story goes with most people, you get one, you get another, you get another. And Protandim has stopped that cycle with me. And I think that that's amazing. And I will never go off. I will never go off any of the products. And so that's just my story with autoimmune. I can never say it cures, treats, or mitigates any disease, but I'm 61 years old and I am keeping up with the 40-year-olds in circuit training, weightlifting, and they're complaining a lot more than I am. and I am fortunate that I can do what I do.
That's awesome.
And I'm very, very grateful for Marilyn introducing me to this, and Sharon and Marilyn educating me. And it's just such a blessing. And I'm sorry, I'm sitting outside. It's my first time sitting outside. So somebody's running a chainsaw.
We can't hear it.
Can
It's
we
good.
hear the birds? And are you sitting on your hammock?
I'm sitting in my hammock. It's been a rough couple days and just very, very busy. So Maddie and I are sitting out here in the garden. So the birds are chirping, and it's
hard to have a
Maddie's.
bad day in a hammock, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's hard to have a bad day in a hammock.
Well, it was just a very, very hectic last couple days. And so I rushed myself out here to relax during your call.
That's good. Good. Thank you
Oh,
for sharing.
thanks.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I'll share too, if I can, just piggyback. I know it's getting late, but it would be nice for everyone just to have a chance just to quickly share, because we all do have our stories, and it does kind of piggyback on what Denise said, because Denise introduced this to Dr. Kimmel, who's the neurologist here in Raleigh that I used to call on when I was in the pharmaceutical industry, and she shared it with me. And it's just an interesting story, because I didn't know that I was sick. So I have had an autoimmune condition my whole life, probably, but it wasn't diagnosed even until after I started with Protandim. But low energy, depression, anxiety, couldn't sleep, weight gain, right? All of the classic symptoms of Hashimoto's. But being in the pharmaceutical industry, the doctors, I would see the regular doctor and they would just give me medications. So at one point I was on 8 medications and not feeling any better at all. So, but I thought, well, this is what I have, I just lived with it. I didn't know, it didn't have a name. I wasn't diagnosed. I was just getting older, I guess. So, so Dr. Kimmel had introduced this to me, and I saw Dr. Gordon speak. So it's just such a blessing, like you said, divine intervention, that Dr. Kimmel just happened to share this with me. Listen, I have something I think you should know about. Dr. Gordon came out, did the presentation. And what's interesting is, my personal health issues that I was facing really wasn't at the forefront. What was at the forefront for me was the science behind it. When she was telling me about Tecfidera being a drug that works on the NRF2 pathway, and that Protandim was more potent at activating NRF2, but it was natural, and it just activated my body to heal. And then when she showed the gene study showing that the genes could be turned off on heart disease, colon cancer, and Alzheimer's, and I had been in the Alzheimer's market, cancer, heart disease. I was selling drugs in all those areas. And I thought, are you kidding me? There's something natural that can activate my body to turn off those bad genes and turn on my good genes. I want that right now. So when I saw that, I just started taking it. Within 30 days of taking it, I got off 2 of those medications. I haven't been on them since. I was on them for years. Every day I couldn't sleep, in mood. So I was able to get off 2 medications in 30 days. I have skin cancer. And when I saw the Louisiana State University studies, I said, I need to be using that true science. Every 3 months, I'd have something cut off or burned off. And it has been in 6 years, I've had 1. So I was going every 3 months having something done, and it's been 6 years. So that has been a huge benefit, as well as just serious joint pain. My husband and I both thought we would need to go into the orthopedic to have scopes and have some work done. But within about 2 months, our knee pain, which was pretty bad, was gone. So just like everybody says, we don't cure, treat, or mitigate disease. Our body has the ability to heal itself when we activate these pathways. So for me, I thought I was going to be taking this for prevention, and I am taking it for prevention, but at the same time, it really improved my health greatly. And like you guys, same with you, Denise, I was in Warrior Sculpt today, Warrior Sculpt yoga. So on Tuesday nights I do yoga and I come home and I'm still haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 9 o'clock here. But there are girls in there who are in their 20s, and I am going to be 55 in a couple weeks, and I'm totally keeping up. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, the energy and not having to nap. It's really good. So yeah, and all the customers, all the people that you get to help. I mean, it's truly stories every day, and a lot of life-changing stories. So really is what I love to do this.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. Okay, Vanessa, you're up.
We haven't run out of time yet.
Close us out. Well, we're gonna go. What the heck?
Okay, so I started, I was going through a marriage. I had an abusive husband who was an alcoholic and emotionally abusive. And my body was shutting down emotionally because my emotional abuse was so bad that my body was shutting down physically. So, the typical, like I had every prescription for every symptom. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. My liver was shutting down. I had migraines every day kind of thing. And so I couldn't get out. So I couldn't even think about getting out of the marriage with my 3 little kids because my body, I couldn't even figure out if I could stay out of bed all day. So my neighbor found out somehow through the grapevine that I had migraines. So she came over and she introduced Protandim to me and said, I have something that might help your migraines. At that point I was like, sure, but I just want her out of my house. And then I said, okay, I'll listen and I'll watch. So then I watched it, and then I thought, what if it helped my migraines? Because I had tried every other thing for months. And it's really hard to think about leaving in the middle of the day, throwing 3 kids in the car and driving out and being scared because he always said he'd follow me and not knowing if I was going to pass out or whatever on the way. So I bought a bottle from her right there because I thought I really wanted to do that. And I tried it, and within 12 days, my migraines went away. And in about 6 weeks, my liver was like working and I was sleeping and I was able to eat again. So I contribute the being able to leave and being healthy enough to leave to LifeVantage, and for God showing me LifeVantage. And also, so my why has to do with emotional stress and single moms. And that's what I deal with, of course, single moms. But my why is more the emotional stress that people don't think about. So everyone else kind of has physical things, but I was like, I can't imagine all the women that are going through emotional stress and their bodies are shutting down and they're just trying to fix it with whatever. And what if I could make them healthier to make better decisions for your family? When you're healthier, you make better decisions. So my why has actually to do with more emotional stress and stuff. So
and just the personal development, just bringing you through this leadership. I mean, you're just a totally different person, so much more confident. You do Facebook lives, you do Instagram lives, you're becoming such a great leader. And so I'm just so proud of you for how far you've come, and your story is so powerful.
Thank you. Yes, I'm actually part of a lot of Facebook groups with like divorce groups and abused women groups. And a lot of them, like I know where they were, because it's really hard to believe in yourself when you've been told you're nothing for years. And almost all of them, they're like, how do you find yourself? And then I say, find yourself a really good hobby, or find yourself a really good side business with a really good group of women who support you. And then you'll start believing in yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and your little daughter's right there. What's her name? She's so cute.
Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine. Your mommy's a rock star. Do you know that?
She's on her last 3 days of school. She's about grade 2.
Wow. Okay. That's right. Canada is still, are you guys still in lockdown?
Alberta opens up July 1st, which is where I live. Ontario is in lockdown for freaking ever, I think. Like they might be in lockdown till like December.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I just can't even imagine. We've been unlocked for the.
We never
whole-
did lock down.
I know. Oh, well, okay, I want to close this out. Do you want to read this, honey?
I don't have my glasses.
You can't see this?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's really small.
Kathy, quit laughing.
I can't read this.
Seriously?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna close this out with a prayer of Jabez. And as you know, it's First Chronicles 4, 9 through 10. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, and that I may not cause pain." So God granted him what he requested. And I think that is a powerful way to end the call. And thank everybody for joining. And bless you for being part of this amazing journey with me. And let's do this, right?
Hey,
Thanks, Marilyn.
congratulations, Marilyn, 10 years.
Thank I want to give away one of
everybody.
these bags of the new flavor, or whatever flavor you want. Grape, strawberry, lemonade. So,
What's your favorite of the three?
I like lemonade now.
I do love, and this you can add, you guys, we've been adding this to iced tea for Arnold Palmer. I put it with raspberry Axio, or put it in, put the strawberry and make it strawberry lemonade. It's just amazing. So it's not too tart and it's not too sweet. So it's just right. Just mix it up really good. I love the grape as well. That is a new favorite of ours. So really, I want to give one away. So, and make sure you're registered. LVA is coming up in August, and we have EA coming up in July. So make sure you're registered, and convention. Get the
You are all invited, including Vanessa, to the shed in Rock Rapids, Iowa for LVA in July.
Yeah.
Road trip.
We're gonna have, and you know what, Vanessa, you don't have to bring food. We'll feed you.
Oh, you
Same
guys
with
are-
Anita. Anita and Dennis
Yes.
will feed you. You won't have to bring food for the potluck.
Okay.
Perfect.
If
Well,
you come
don't
to
forget
Rock
about-
Rapids, Iowa,
I
Don't
was
forget
gonna say,
Julia.
Denise,
Oh, Julia, yeah.
Julia too. Julia too.
I'm
All
at a
of you that have
wedding.
traveled so far.
I'm at a wedding.
Oh yeah,
you.
you had a wedding that weekend. There's no way you're gonna skip that.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, Denise, maybe you have an idea of how to smuggle me in the country because the borders won't be open.
All right.
I know. I want to go fishing up in Kenora and I'll never get there again. I swear.
But I do have an idea because I do know a lot of truckers.
Oh.
I bet you do.
Nice.
Yay!
You could just slide in under the truck.
Show up. Okay.
There you go.
Right. Just be
You guys-
safe, girl.
You guys have got to see this shed. It's amazing.
It looks amazing from the
Yeah.
pictures. Gosh. Oh,
That's right. He shed. that he
One day
said
we'll
her-
be there.
She shed used.
one
It's
day.
not a shed.
Yes. My husband has a he shed that is amazing that he lets us use, and he is just he just loves it when we use it. I mean, really.
He shed to a she shed. Could be our shed, right?
Right.
It's better than a
Mine-
he shed.
Yeah. It's pretty
He's
fantastic.
no dummy. He's gonna write it all off as taxes, right? Like it's a
Hey, it works. It
Life
works.
Manage Event Center now.
Right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So you're all welcome to come. We'll have a potluck. It'll be great.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
We'll
Sounds
work on
great.
it.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Good night.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Congratulations, Marilyn.
Love you.
Love you too.
Congrats, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.